morning. Welcome to practice. Thank you so much for joining. Please, as always, practice in accordance with your conditions and your abilities and respect your limitations. Think of the practice as an offering and imagine all beings are experiencing this through you. So we want to deliver the best experience and avoid going to a place of pain and suffering so we don't spread that around. So on that note, let's begin. Sit tall and straight, close the eyes, and bring the attention within. We'll start with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you're becoming one with all beings everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. God, you will live hereafter. Of this, there is no doubt. Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to the inner light. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering, and may we acquire the intellect to attain that knowledge. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only ever peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. Let's do the mantra for purification to purify the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. If you don't know it, just channel the Guru through your voice. Just move your lips. Imagine you're chanting through the voice of the Guru. You derive all the benefits as though you're chanting it perfectly. If you do know it, do it with conviction and volume so it can be heard by all the subtle bodies within and all around. We'll do it 3 times. Each time try to do it in a single breath. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabahya Byantraha Stihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrika Ksham Sabahya Bihantraha Stihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrika Ksham Sabahya Bihantraha Stihi. Let's establish a deep connection with the divine within. Bring your arms up for spiritual breathing. Fingers, palms turned upwards. From the fingertips, inhale down the best of the breath through the arms into the spiritual heart. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding it all in the center of the chest and the right side of the physical heart. The attention and the breath, and the hold the breath there as well. Exhale out through the arms, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once again, inhale down through the arms, a direct path to God who resides in the spiritual heart. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, holding it in the spiritual heart. Hold the breath and the attention there. Exhale out through the arms, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One last time. Inhale everything you need, the best, down into the spiritual heart. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding it all in the spiritual heart as an offering to God. Exhale out through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the arms down now. We'll do the main breathing, alternate nostril breathing, and we'll do a breath retention. The Shivananda style is a very simple one because there's no set count. You just breathe in so that you can fill up the lungs, hold the breath for as long as you can comfortably, and exhale, just prolong it a little bit so it's nice and controlled. So when you hold the breath, again, don't go to the point where it becomes so hard to breathe. You hold it so long that it's an explosion out of the body when you breathe out. It should be controlled. The pranayama means to control the vital force. So we're breathing in through the left side, hold the breath, apply the throat in a root lock, exhale out to the right, back up through the right, breath retention again with the locks, exhale out through the left, begin and end on the left side. For the breath retention, for the root lock, contract the buttocks and push the belly button in front of the spine. Imagine lifting the whole pelvic floor up towards the navel. For the throat lock, inhale. As you inhale, you want to raise the chest and fill up the lungs as much as you can. When it comes time for the breath retention, you bring the chin against the chest. The tip of the tongue to the roof mouth behind the teeth will seal off the lock. The attention at the space between the eyebrows. So we'll do it just so that you can get the technique down, and then you can do it on your own. So now you have a powerful tool. We don't have enough time to really get the full benefit, really get charged up with this breath, but you'll at least have the technique that you can do it on your own. When you do it on your own in your own practice, try for at least 12 cycles. Okay, so we'll just do it for about 5 minutes or so here. So left hand on Jnana Mudra, second finger and thumb connected, other 3 fingers together. This is the mudra consciousness on the left knee, either facing up or down. And then the right hand, second and third fingers fold down towards the palm, turn the palm towards you. Thumb for the right nostril, right ring finger for the left. Keep the fingers close to the nose. I will exaggerate so you can see the fingers, the movement of the fingers, okay? So sit up tall and straight. Breathe out completely, empty the lungs. Close off the right side. Inhale to the left. Hold the breath now, chin on the chest. Attention to the space between the eyebrows. Everything stops. All the activity, the mind, the body, and emotions as though they're frozen. Apply the root lock as well. Pretend you held as long as you can. Exhale out through the right side. Slowly and evenly empty the lungs. Inhale. Fill up. Raise the chest. Hold the breath now. Head tips down. The attention always at the center of the forebrow. Contract the buttocks. Push the belly button in front of the spine. Keep holding the breath. Try to keep the mind calm no matter what the body is feeling. Exhale out through the left side slowly. Release the locks, empty the lungs. Inhale. Hold. If the mind starts to wander, be unconcerned, unjudging. Just do your best. Just keep bringing your attention back as many times as you need to the center of the forebrow, the seat of divine perception located there. Pretend you held the breath as long as you can. Exhale out through the right side slowly and evenly. Fill up again. Inhale. Hold the breath. So we're doing this to stay in a collective mind, but again, when you're at home doing this by yourself, you can hold the breath as long as you can comfortably. Hold the breath a little bit longer if you can. Keep the locks engaged at the throat and the root. Exhale out through the left. Inhale through the left. If you can't hold the breath quite as long as I'm cueing it, then you can just let exhale when you need to. Remember, the breath, the exhale should be controlled. Exhale out to the right. Inhale through the right. Hold again. The mind is as quiet as the eye of the storm. No matter what's going on, what kind of activity is going on, be like the witness, undisturbed, unaffected. Exhale out through the left. Inhale left. Hold. Everything stops. All the activity, the mind, the body, and the emotions, again, at a standstill. Keep holding the breath. Keep the attention at the space between the eyebrows. Exhale out through the right side. Inhale to the right. Fill up so you can hold the breath, and now do the hold. Apply the locks. Concentrate on the space between the eyebrows. And exhale slowly to the left. Bring the right hand down. Take a moment to just observe the state of the body, the mind, and the emotions. Even though you're not accustomed to it, maybe the mind gets bored. With constant practice, the mind will settle, and you will eventually acquire the enthusiasm once you realize the profound benefits of the practice. And when you offer up the practice, it gives you more incentive, because all benefits are being benefited through this practice, through you. And now we will continue with the asanas now. It is through the forms that God is manifest in this universe. So try to revere and love each and every one. See God in all the forms. And thus the practice becomes an active offering of reverence, of love and devotion. So now with these intentions, these ideas ingrained in our heart and mind, let's begin. Come to standing. Okay, so we will begin with some warm-ups. Start to swing from one side to the other, arms like heavy ropes. Try to look all the way around you. The head turns completely. And then start to speed it up. Even faster. And then just shake all the joints in the upper body, the shoulders, the head flying in all the directions. And then slow it down. Shake out the wrists, move the fingers very, very rapidly, like you have no control of the hands, are moving all by themselves. Then up and down like the wings of a hummingbird, so fast you can barely see them move. You can barely see the fingers, they're going so fast. Good, and now the hands on the hips, circle the head. Try to get your ears to the shoulders, the chin to the chest, the back of the head to the top of the back. And go in the opposite direction now. And now the right arm swings backwards. Make as though you're winding up the throw ball. And then go forward. Feel as though you're holding a weight of 5 pounds in the hand to make the arm swing more easily. And then the other arm. Loosen up the shoulder joint. You can always use your right hand to support the shoulder if you have any tightness or injuries in the shoulder. Be mindful of your limitations again. Go forward. Adjust according to your condition. Good. Now bring them both arms up. Take hold of the elbows. Bend to the left. And go to the right. Back to the left. Really stretch the right side of the body without making too many wrinkles in the underside of the body. Go to the right again. Go to the left. Stretch. Push the hips and ribs out towards the right. And then go to the left. Left and then right. Come back to the center. Little circles over the head. Starting off with mostly head, neck, and shoulders moving. But then the circles get larger progressively. Start to feel it in the side body at the waist. And perhaps, if you feel comfortable to do so, the whole torso turns, hinging at the hips, the forms coming right across the tops of the feet. Coming all the way up and go in the opposite direction now. Start small again, tracing circles over the head. And then getting larger with the circles. Until perhaps, if you like, again, the full circle. Use the momentum of the downswing to carry you through the circle smoothly. Coming all the way back up. And then bring the elbows in front of the shoulders. Separate the feet so the feet are about the width of the mat. Throw the body from side to side. So look all the way around you again. Go fast. and then release. Next one, you can bring your left hand on the wall if you like. Right leg swings back and forth like a pendulum that went out of control. Try to get your knee to the shoulder, the toes to the back of the head. And then the other leg. Watch your toes, flex your foot so you don't stub your toes on the ground. And then release. So now, feet together, arms by sides of the body. Inhale, come up. 2, 3, lift the heels. 4, 5, 6, and come back down. Slowly. 3, 4. Try not to allow the heels to hit the ground heavily. 6. Come up. Engage the core and the leg muscles. 3, 4, 5, 6, feel the navel lengthening and hollowing out, up, down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, come up again smoothly. 3, gracefully. 4, 5, 6, push firmly through the roots of your toes, come back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, move in a way that doesn't bring the mind into a state of disturbance and restlessness. 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the position. Reach up even higher. Down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tip the head down in a gesture of humbleness. And stay in this humble mindset throughout the practice. Let go of all expectations. Let go of all attachment to the results. Do the practice because it must be done for the well-being of all. So now let's come to the front of the mat. Remember that we try to discipline the mind to keep it free of expectation so that we don't bring the mind to restlessness, and then that just ultimately brings us to a place of suffering and pain. So keep the mind quiet and let's move together, or imagine we're moving together like a school of fish. Imagine we're all together physically. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back. Fold the body down. Bend your knees if you need to bring your hands on the ground. The right foot back. Lower down the knee, drop down to the seat. Push the seat all the way forward. Come into high plank. Lower the knees. The seat goes all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward. Brush your nose as you're coming forward. Into cobra. Roll the shoulders down. Extend the neck out of the shoulders. Take the seat back so that you can bring your head back further. Come forward again. Glide between the arms. And then open up the heart in every sense. One more time. Take the seat back. Come forward. Make like a snake creeping through the grass. Then uncoiling gracefully and majestically. Adho Mukha Savasana. Lift the seat. Allow the head come all the way. Soften the line in the back. And then the right foot comes forward. If that's a difficult transition, you can lower the left knee down. The foot doesn't make it all the way. Just use the right hand to push it forward. Then the feet come together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing. Reach up and back. And then come back, calm hands to the heart. Go up and back, stretch the front of the body. Stretch. And come forward and down. Uttanasana. The left foot goes back into the plank. The knees down, the seat goes back again. Come forward 3 times. Turn the fingers out a little bit, push the elbows into the sides of the body, and come forward and up. Take the seat back again. Glide between the arms. Imagine being the body of the snake. Imitate its movements. And one more time, take the seat back. Embody all of the virtues. Be regal and wise, fierce and fearless. Adho Mukha Savasana. Lift the seat again, allow the head go down. And the left foot comes forward to the hands. Quietly placing the foot. No big heavy thuds, no jerky movements. Uttanasana. Come up again, reach up and back. And then back to Pranayama. Always starting everything Everything comes from the heart, from the place of love and compassion. Uttanasana, right foot back. Make the practice an act of devotion. Into the high plank, lower down, the knees go back. Come forward again. Into the cobra. This time back into Adho Mukha Svanasana right away. So here, just bounce a little bit. Try to get your chest closer to the ground. If you're flexible, maybe the forehead comes down so you can get your heels down as well. Push your seat up and back. Feel the stretch in the backs of the legs. Look like a dog stretching its back. Now the right foot comes forward to the hands. Uttanasana. Chest and the thighs, head down. And come right back up. Hasta Uttanasana, standing salute, hands back to the heart. Every posture has a certain consciousness. Tap into it. When you're with your heart open, the eyes up, an indication or an expression of devotion and surrender. Left foot back. Into the high plank. Knees, chest, forehead down, the eyes downcast, the head down, the gesture of lowliness. Into cobra. Roll the shoulders back, telescope your neck out of the shoulders. Keep your hips on the ground. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, lift the seat. Hold here a little bit. Bounce to the chest, try to lift your shoulders a little bit. Try not to bend the arms. Again, try to push your heels down towards the ground. Look like a dog who's loyal to its master. Embrace that beautiful quality. Be loyal yourself to serving others. And then the left foot comes forward. As you're moving forward, by the way, shoulders come over the fingertips. Move the whole body forward so that the foot doesn't land heavily. Uttanasana. And come up. Pranayama. Keep on going. Raise your arms up. Don't worry about the breath. Just move the body in a way that allows the breath to remain steady and uniform. The right foot back. The breath will then deliver more power and ease the movements. Knees, chest, forehead down. This time as you come through and your hips come to your hands, push into your hands directly into the ground and lift your legs away from the ground. Upward facing dog. You can bend your toes under. Work this pose here now. Look like a dog howling at the moon. Work the spine a little bit. Move. The shoulders back. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now raise the right leg up. Lift the left heel so you can get your head down to the ground, maybe even touching. And lower the heel right back down again if you can. Right on the ground. Right foot comes up higher. Try not to open up your hip. Look between the hands, right foot forward. Anjalyasana. Uttanasana. A gesture again of humbleness. And come up. Hands back to the heart. The grace among us is a servant who serves from a place of complete selflessness and devotion. Uttanasana, fold the body down. Left foot back. Into the plank. Down we go, knees, chest, forehead, and then right through into upward facing dog if you can. Charge the legs, bend the toes under again. Work the body. Make as though there's a hinge right at the top of your legs. Try not to create too many folds in the back, lower back with the back of the neck. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. We're trying to make this spine smooth and supple and strong so it can be a better conduit for the prana to rise. Left leg up. Lift the right heel so you can get your head down to the ground. And then see if you can lower the right heel back down while stretching your left foot up higher. Break the pose, head comes up, the foot comes roughly where the head was. And then Uttanasana. Try to get your seat, eventually line with your heels and your legs straight by pushing against your legs, but try not to detach your body from the body from the thighs. And you come right up to standing, reach up and back. Pranayama. And again, same variation. Reach up, stretch, and hinge at the hips. Fold the body down in half. Right foot back. Bury your mind deep in the heart. Watch your body move with even more power, grace, and ease. Ashtanga Namaskara. Through into upward facing dog. Right back into downward facing dog. Now here, raise your right leg up. This time, open up the hip. Look underneath your right arm. Bend your right knee. Try to imagine you have a foot weight attached to the foot. The foot falls towards the left. If you want, you can bring your left forearm down as well. Keep the right side body nice and long. Now come up off your elbow. Extend the right leg back again and bring it right forward to the hands. Back knee down. Drop down to the seat. Uttanasana. And come up again. Engage the buttocks and upper back to support as you lean back. And the back, Pranayama. Keep going. Move forward in every sense, not only physically, but mentally and spiritually especially as well. Have a strong desire to evolve, to transform. Left foot back into high plank. With every experience, every life, we get better and better. Knees, chest, forehead down in our comportment. Into upward facing dog. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg up. Open up to the left. Look underneath your left arm. And then bend your left leg. Allow it to fall towards the right. Land on your right forearm if you like. Open up the hip. And then come back on your, can lift the right elbow up. Lift the left leg way high and then bring a foot between your hands again softly. Back knee down. And then together, feet together, Uttanasana. Try to get your chest below the knees. And then come right up to standing. Reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. All the transitions seamless, like you're doing a divine dance of devotion and love. Raise your arms up as you go down this time. Bend your knees. Land your belly on your thighs, join your hands and pull them all the way up off your back, over your shoulders, maybe even from the head a little bit. Now the right foot goes back. Back knee down, Kapiyasana. Reach up and back. You can keep your toes bent under if you like, that makes the transitions easier. And then come right back into high plank. So you can do the same entry into upward facing dog if you want. You can even come into chaturanga. Lower down in one line from heel to the top of the head, hovering above the ground about an inch. Through into upward facing dog. Be careful of your joints again. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. If it's too much, just keep doing the other transition that's more suitable. Right leg up for your condition. Into Anjalyasana. And then sink your seat, bring your arms up, Kapiyasana. Pull your arms back, try to get your hands behind your head. Drop your shoulders down. And swing forward, swing your hands behind the back without touching your fingers to the ground if possible. Hold the breath, the left foot comes right beside the right. Uttanasana. Come back up. And then back home. Again, reach up. Hinge at the hips, keep on being like the wind is watching the body moving all by itself with grace and power. Left foot back. Imagine yourself in the practice you're trying to attain with constant practice, anger, determination, and adherence to ethical rules. Everything is possible. Back into high plank, entry of your choice into upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Reach up and back and step the foot between the hands. Land your seat right close to front heel and then raise your arms up, go back. Stretch the whole front spine from the toes all the way to the fingertips. And then break the pose. Swing your hands behind the back, join them together if you can. The feet together, the belly is your thighs, the face with the shins if your legs are perfectly straight. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Wherever you are is perfect. Everything is happening according to the divine plan, and you will evolve bit by bit, belly on your thighs. Wherever you don't attain in this lifetime, you just continue the next. Swing hands over your shoulders in front of your head perhaps. Left foot goes back. Back knee down. Kapiyasana. Lean away from front leg, arch back. Come back down into your high plank. I think I did the wrong foot first. It's okay. Bring your seat all the way back. This time, you can do knees, chest, forehead to the ground, or see if you can come through without touching your body to your ground. Pull your elbows into the sides of the body, and come into upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Let's swing the right leg up. Reach up and step the foot between the hands. Back knee down, drop down to the seat, reach up and back. Don't get attached to anything, including a practice. Swing your hands behind the back. Be open and receptive to all experiences. Push the seat up, forehead down. Come up. Be open and receptive and grateful for change, for all experiences. Hands back to the heart. Everything teaches us something. Reach up and back. Come forward. And all the knowledge helps to serve to break the pattern to cause pain and suffering. The right foot goes back. Back knee down. Reach up and back. Stretch, push the lower back up and in, lift the chest. Come right back down into high plank and into entry of your choice. Again, if you want, bring your seat all the way back. Press into heels, your palms, turn fingers out, elbows into sides of the body. We have to really push them with your toes to make it through without touching your legs to the ground. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Left leg up and bring the foot between the hands. Back knee down, drop down to seat, reach up and back, stretch, push your chest forward and up. And then swing your hands behind the back. Every movement infused with love and devotion and expressing a great reverence and love for all beings, because God is within each and every one. Reach up and back. And then come back home. Take pause here for a moment. Bring your arms by sides of the body, standing tall in Tadasana, like a mountain. Come into mountain consciousness. Tall, quiet, steady. Take a deep breath in from the base of the spine, like the base of the mountain, up to the crown, which is like the summit. Exhale back down to the base of the spine, the base of the mountain. Be solid and unshakable and formidable in your devotion to the practice to serve others. Now let's continue with some other sequences for balance. Standing on your left foot first, bring the right foot up. Take hold of the heel from the inside. If you're having trouble balancing, stand against the wall or bring the left hand on the wall. Bring your foot out to the side and try to have your toes and fingers on the same line. Perhaps it looks like a letter T, perhaps like a letter Y. Arm and the leg roughly at the same angle. Push through the base of the toes, embody the grace and magnificence of the dancer. All the qualities are within, you just have to turn them on. Good. Now see if you can let go of the foot without dropping the foot any appreciable height. So you have to engage the leg muscles, engage the core. Don't let go of the foot too fast. So let go of it slowly, let it float there. Lean to your left a little bit, bring the leg down, right into gliding eagle if you can. If you need to bring your fingers to the ground, in the interim, go ahead. Bring the belly on your thigh, the head comes about the height to the knee, palms are down. The foot, if you can, stays higher than the hip. Make like an eagle soaring down from a great height, at great speed. Now come up, another pose, angel. Keep your leg up if you can. Arms out to the side, this time palms up. Push your chest forward and look up. Maybe bring your head back a little bit. Make like the messenger of God, always ready for service. And then break the pose. Bring the right foot back down and then try it on the other side. So stepping firmly on the right foot, anchor it down. Fix your gaze on a point. Something that doesn't move is always helpful. Bring your left foot up. Again, according to your flexibility, maybe bring your foot up higher. Open up through the heart. Look up. Offer up the pose like a dancer offers up their art. Now again, getting ready to let go of the foot and try not to drop the foot. So hold the breath, engage your leg muscles. Let go slowly. Lean to the right leg swings down, try not to touch the ground in between. And then bend your knee, rest your belly on your thigh, arms out to the side eventually. If you need to take your hands to the ground, all good. Remain unjudging no matter what happens. Be undisturbed like the witness. Just dance with whatever comes around. Learn to be unaffected, unjudging, unbothered. Now from here, press into your right foot, come up for angel. If you need to bring your toes to the ground, still perfect. Bring your chest forward, arms out. It's the effort that's important. Keep trying. Look up. Open up your mind and your heart. And break the pose. Bring the left foot back down. Charge the body. Inhale, the best. Into the spine, up the spine to the crown. Exhale, send it everywhere throughout your being. Send it out to all beings at the same time. Let's try another one. So come to the back of the mat. Warrior 3, arms up over the head. If it's too much to have your arms over the head as you come into the pose, you can bring arms out to the side and stay with your arms out to the side. Otherwise, bring your left foot forward. Make like your spear. Raise your right leg up. Straight from the fingertips all the way to the toes. The right hip is looking down. Good. Now from here, bring the hands down so you can get your right leg up higher. So you need to bend your knee a little bit. Try to get your belly on your thigh. Left hand comes to your ankle. If your hamstrings are tight, you can fold the leg and bring your knee up as high as you can. So again, according to your condition. Your index finger on the outside of the left heel, your right hand moves in closer and closer until it's right beside the foot. Then see if you can take your index, all but the index finger up off the ground. And eventually maybe even bring your right hand, index finger on the inside of the heel. Gaze just beyond your toes. So your hip has to be right in line with your heel. Bring the hands back down. Step the right foot back down. Lift your heels, slip your hands underneath. Push your seat all the way up. With your shoulders right on top of your knees. Your forehead to your shins. Belly with your thighs. Keep your knees bent if you need to. And then from here, roll your way up. Keep your head heavy and then come back up. Try it on the other side now. So just turn around the other way. You don't have to turn around. I'm just doing it for demonstration. The hands together over the head and then come forward. Right foot comes forward. Bend your right knee. And then lift your left leg up and re-straighten your right leg. If you fall, just come right back up again. Keep trying. Now bring your hand to the ground. From here, raise the left leg up as high as you can, or again your knee. If your hamstring is tight, bend your right knee so you can keep your belly with your thigh. The right hand on the outside of the foot, index finger on the outside of the heel, and move your left hand right in close to your foot. Come off all but just the index finger. Gaze is just in front of your toes. Maybe eventually take your left hand on the foot. Try to have your hip right over the heel for better balance. Concentrate on steadiness. And then bring the left foot back down. Lift your heels, step on your hands, push your seat all the way up. Lift your seat right up. And then from here, release, come back out and up. Charge the body, turn the palms forward this time. Inhale, imagine lights of every color streaming into the body, up the spine to the crown. Exhale, send it everywhere. Radiate your light from within. Send it out to all beings. Okay, so one more sequence. Come to the back of the mat. Left foot forward. Left fingertips down on the ground in front of your left foot. Not too close, about 14 or 16 inches away. Raise your right leg up. And then bring the right arm up. If you're having trouble opening up, you can, if you have a block, you can bring it underneath your hand. Step on a short end. If it's too much, you can just come down on your left knee. So you can just even do it from here. Just find something that works for you, that brings you to the edge of your potential. Good. Now, open up a little bit more. Fingers together, toes pointed. Now bend your right leg. Bend your left knee as well, so you can anchor your left foot down. Bring more weight into your left foot. Bring your right knee in towards your belly. Take hold of the leg close to the ankle. And then push a foot all the way up and out again. Open up. Try to get your foot as far away from your body as possible. Then look down. If you like, hip over the heel. Take your left hand up off the ground onto your heart. Maybe even to your foot. If you want to come up, you can press into your left foot and come up with, you can do it this way as well, or with your left hand and right hand both on a foot. Push your foot out, again, according to your abilities. But try something new every time. And then one day you might come in, the body may obey. Pull the heel in and release. On our path to self-realization, we'll have eventually the chance to experience everything. So don't worry, everything is coming. Right foot forward, right fingertips down on the ground or on a block if you need. Left leg up, bring the left arm up. So Dharmaji doesn't use blocks too much or pops. He says try to do it without it, otherwise sometimes you get too dependent on the props. So try your best as possible to move away or use the props in a minimal way that doesn't get you attached to them. Now from here, you can look down, bend your right knee, sink your more weight into your right foot, bring your knee in towards your belly so you can get hold of your leg a little bit more easily, hold it close to your ankle, and start to push the foot out and back. Open up through the chest, expand through the chest. Try to get your foot as far away from your body as possible. Look down if you like. Make sure your hip is over the heel. Hold the breath. The right hand comes to the heart. Maybe to the foot. Pull the heel in towards the seat. Push it out. You can stay there or stand. Push into your right foot. Hold the breath as you're coming up. If it's too much for both hands, one arm can be in front again. Break the pose. Come back up and charge the body again. Inhale, imagine that you're attracting everything you need. Feel it coming in from all around, into the body, up the spine to the crown. Exhale, send it everywhere. As always, everything meant to be shared. Stand in the middle of the mat now for some other sequences. So either step or jump your feet apart. Go into your left Virabhadrasana. Bend your left knee. If you're more flexible, go a little bit lower. Work your hips. Good test to see if you're low enough. See if you can touch your fingers to the ground. Doesn't have to happen today. Just get the sensation that you're trying to sink at your hips. Work the thighs. The knees over the two middle toes. Make sure it's not popping in. Should be in line with your toes. Look over the front hand. Be strong and steady like the warrior. Good. Now from here, we're going to bring the left hand down. If you need to, you can bring the right knee down and come into Sukha Trikonasana. So you can do it from here. Left shoulder presses against the knee, right arm up. If you can, however, bring your fingertips back behind your left heel, Trikonasana. The head and the hip in the same line. If you're finding you can't open up, you might need to bring your hand higher on the foot. Or again, do the one with the knee on the ground. Wherever you are is perfect if you're offering up the pose. Good. If you want, you can even take the right hand behind your back on the in and bring on the thigh, roll the thigh outwards. You can even bring your shoulder down below the line of the knee. Left arm goes underneath your leg. The right hand catches the left hand. The left hand catches the right hand. Keep your head low. Push the right shoulder back. Feel free to do it with your knee on the ground as well. You can always find, again, a position that is suitable for your condition and your ability level. Now from here, release, look forward, flatten out the toes, your seat all the way forward. Kapiyasana, reach up and arch the back. Pull the arms back. Make sure your arms are not bent. Keep the arms straight, close the ears, reach back. If you have other variations, go ahead. You can stay here, you can turn to the right. Right hand slides to your foot. If you can, take the foot up. Bring it right close to your body. Squeeze the foot into crook of the arm. The fingers come close to the ear. Left hand comes behind your head on the left side. Take hold of the fingers and push the foot away. You can do that one, or you can do even with your foot on the head. So take the foot from the outside. The elbow comes close to your body. You're holding the foot from the outside, the thumb pressing into the heel. And just circle the elbow up. Try to move the joints in a way that doesn't hurt the joints. The head goes back, maybe the foot finds its way on the head. Keep your seat all the way down. Eventually, maybe your hands come up and back. Break the pose. Some of these are for more advanced practitioners, obviously. So again, do according to your condition. The left foot goes out to the left, towards the edge of the mat. Push off the roots of your toes. Sink through the hips. Push back through the back heel one more time. Lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. If your hips aren't going down low enough, just stay on your hands, but just keep sinking your hips. Think of doing a cobra. If your hips are low enough, fall on your right forearm and then roll back to your left. Try to get your hips to come down, and then maybe the pelvis and the belly and the chest will follow. So make sure this is not happening. Your knee not falling out to the side, nor this. So in this case, both cases, the hips are not evenly planted down. Try to have both sides of your hips planted down. If you're very low, your arm can come the outside of the foot. You can rest your hand on the foot, your armpit right against your ankle. Even take your left arm around from the outside underneath your knee and join your hands over your back. This is if you're flat down. Whatever pose you're in now, fix your gaze. Be like a lizard just sunning itself in a warm earth. Try not to blink. Break the pose. Remember, you're trying to imitate the form on all levels. So here, Adho Hanumanasana, bring your right foot to your left a little bit. Lift the toes and hinge at the hips. Try to get your belly on your thigh, your cheek on the inside of the left shin. You can take hold of the foot. If you're flexible, maybe your forearms will come right down. Your seat in line with your knee. Now from here, slide your left foot back, come upright. Bend the toes under the back foot. If you can lift your left foot up, it's in the right place. The leg should look like a box. The right arm up, I'll do it this way. Ankle the toe and the knee towards the right, push out of the way with your left hand, and come down all the way to the right, left. Armpit eventually on the outside of the knee, left hand on the right hand, even a fist. This might help to push downward a little bit more into the receiving palm. The belly comes higher than the thigh. So the chest comes to your thumbs and roll the left shoulder all the way back. Turn the face up. Try to get your heart center of the chest behind your hands. If you want to take a bind, go even more to your left. Bend the wrist, fingers come in towards the inside of the wrist. Use your left hand to guide the hand underneath your body, underneath your leg. Left arm goes over your back, and then you can join your hands. Lift your back knee up off the ground if you can. If you have the bind, pull firmly on the hands. Try to get a little bit more rotation. Break the pose. Come all the way back. Facing the long edge of the mat. Let's pause here. Prasarita Padottanasana. Can take hold of your legs. Bring your head out and then try to pull yourself in. If you can, slip your hands underneath your edges of your feet. Try to get your head right between your feet. Elbows lift, shoulders lifted.
Try the mat. If you're more flexible, try to get your back of the head in line with your heels. Lift your seat right up. Roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards. You can stay here. If your head is on the ground, you can even do headstand. Bring your hands down, your fingers in line with your heels. If you can, straddle right up. Push into your hands and lift up. Wing your legs out to the side and bring them together over your head. Other options, if you can't get your legs up from that way, swinging them out to the sides, bring them behind your wrists. Just set just underneath your knees against your elbows and see if you can pull your toes away from the ground. You can, of course, stay in Prasarita Padottanasana. Now, if you're in headstand, come back down, or teddy bear. If you're coming down with your legs coming back down, opening up, engage your core quite a bit. As your feet are coming close to the ground, try to land your feet in the exact same place. Arms out to the side, come up. Now from here, take your hands on your seat. Walk your feet in a little bit so your feet are about 2 feet apart. Push into your seat, pull down, bend your knees come over your toes. Easy Chakrasana. Look up and then back. Push into your seat, pull down, roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards. You're more flexible, bring your hands back, down, or down your legs. Heels, your palms just underneath your knees. Keep using your hands to roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards. If you keep going, if you want, go all the way down to your feet if you can. And then walk your way back up until your hands land on your seat. Push into your seat and come back. So now we're going to go to the other side. You may need to open up your legs a little bit more as you go into your Virabhadrasana. Look to your right. Make sure again your knees not falling in. The knee over the toes. Nice long stance. Enter into the consciousness of a warrior. Always ready to serve, steadfast in their duty. Getting ready for Trikonasana now. So if your hips are low enough, you can bring the right hand down, push your seat all the way back, right leg straightens into your Trikonasana. Otherwise, bring your left knee down, the right hand right in front of the foot and inside, left arm up. Your leg should look like a box. Okay, so like this. Or take a bind, left arm underneath, behind your back, roll the thigh outwards. Even you can drop your right shoulder down, just below the line of the knee. The right arm goes underneath the right leg more easily. Catch your left hand. So make sure you're not trying to bind over your seat, around your seat, just on the outside of your right thigh. And then from here, you can see if you can lift your back knee up, with or without the bind. The head close to the foot. Left leg, try to straighten it all the way. Lift the left hip up as high as you can. Now break the pose. Look forward, back knee down. Kapiyasana. Actually, I'll do this, why not? So drop your seat forward, arms up, lean away from the leg. Again, not like this. Elbows close to the head, squeezing the ears almost. Reach back, lean back away from the leg. Keep your seat all the way forward, keep your balance. And if you want to go into other variations, you can turn to your left, slide your hand up towards the foot. Your knee is a little bit more to your left, towards the edge of the mat. Then you can bring your foot up, and the foot will come a little bit in front of the body. Okay, so a little bit just to the left of the chest. Fingers come close to the ear, squeeze your, bend your left arm quite a bit so the fingers are right close to your ear, the forearm straight, the right arm right beside the head. On the right side, clasp your fingers and then push your foot out. Through the practice, you learn all sorts of tricks. If you want to try the other one, if you have open shoulders, make sure you have open shoulders. Elbows close in front of the body, turn the thumb press into the base of the toes, other fingers around, and then Just circle your left arm up. Natural movements. Bring your head back. Your foot might land on the head. And you bring your other hand up. Or maybe both hands up if your head is resting comfortably in your foot. Break the pose. Lizard. Move the right foot out to the edge of the mat. Left foot back. Good. So it's good to try new things, but again, be mindful about your limits. Practice in a way that's mindful. It doesn't bring yourself into pain, a place of pain or suffering. Push back to the left foot one more time. Lower the knee. If again your hips are too high from the ground, stay on your hands. Sink your hips. Keep lengthening. Bring your telescope your body out of the hips. Eventually, maybe you'll be able to land on your forearms. Land on your left forearm and then the right. Once your hips are fully on the ground, sometimes you need your imagination to help you attain a pose. As imagine there's a big weight sitting on top of your seat, flattening you out. And then maybe you'll be able to come down further on the pelvis, the belly, and the chest follow. If you want to take your right arm out to the side, if you're flat down, underneath your right knee, you can join your hands over your back. It's good to see sometimes what is capable, what is possible. But if your mind is not ready for it, then you can don't have to force yourself, just wait until your mind is open, receptive to the idea. Then perhaps bit by bit you make progress. Break the pose. You can always go to some extent. Just go a little bit further each day. Go to the edge each and every day, each and every time you practice, so that eventually you keep on pushing your edge further. Take hold of the heel if you like. If you can, bring your forearms closer and closer to the ground. Rest your belly on your thigh. Telescope your chest forward. Try to get your heart beyond your knee. And then coming back up. Bend the toes under and back foot. Make sure your legs look like a box. Do the little test so you can get your foot up off the ground. Parivrita Parsvanasana. Left arm up. Angle the toe and knee towards the left. Push it out of the way. Or anchor in place with your right hand. And your left hand and your right hand come together. Or right hand and fist. Pushing down into your left hand. Push very hard. Try to get your belly up higher than the thigh. Some of the chest comes behind your thumbs and roll the right shoulder back. Do a bind if you like. Push your seat back. Give more space. Even if you lift your knee up if you can and keep the balance. You have more space for the arm to go underneath your leg. Your elbow in the space underneath your right leg. And then you will be able to bit by bit go a little bit deeper and find the hands. The hands find one another. Extend through the heel, extend through the crown. Keep the back leg active. Don't let it go lax. Break the pose. This time we can come into plank. Vasisthasana. So from here, go on your left hand first. Step a little bit to the right, and then turn to the right. A straight line from the heel all the way to the crown. If you're finding you're dropping into your shoulder, your hips are sagging, lower your left knee down underneath your hip. So not, again, if you do this, you're going to sink into the shoulder. Keep your hip up as high as possible by keeping your thigh vertical. If you're doing it from here, your ankles can be crossed. Extend through the crown. Come back to plank. Go on the other hand now. Turn to your left. The hand is a little bit in front of the shoulder. Keep pushing firmly into the hand, or keep trying to push the floor down and away from you. Then you might it might give you the ability to really engage and strengthen that arm. Now come back to plank. Lower the knees down.
sit on your heels or in between your heels. Supta Virasana. If you can go down on your back, then go ahead. This is if you're sitting between your heels. Come down further and further, maybe onto your elbows, maybe even onto your back. So if you have no issues with your knees, then go ahead. Otherwise, stay up a little bit higher. Sit on your feet, your heels, and just bring your hands as far back as you can. It's just to soften the knees. You can walk your hands further back just to work the shoulders a little bit. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, allow the body to sink. If you're down on the ground, imagine that the belly button is sinking right into the ground, through the body. Now bring your hands onto if you're down on the back, push your hands into the soles of your feet, against the heels, dig into the elbows, lift your shoulders and your head up off the ground, and come back up. One more round of Vasisthasana. So from here, you want to, if you have any variations, you can go ahead. You can stay in this this modification, bring your leg up, maybe take hold of the foot. If you're in a full plank, a side plank, start to turn on your left foot, slide your right toes back, push your hip all the way up. You can even keep spinning on your heel of palm and come into Urdhva Dhanurasana if your shoulders are open enough. Otherwise, falling off the mat here. So from here, you make sure the toes are in the same line as the rest of your leg. Push your hip all the way up. Inside edge of the foot is down. This is for balance. So you can take your right knee up off the right foot up off the ground. If you can, bring your knee right in towards your belly. Take hold of the knee. Or slide your hand up to the foot. Really lock your left leg in place. Push your hip all the way up. Break the pose. Come back down. Come back into plank. Go to the other side or on table. Go on your right knee if you need to. And then make your way into the pose. You can, of course, stay here. This is where you're at. Start to turn on the foot. Slide your left toe as you slide your left toes back alongside the inside of the right knee. Toes falling again the same line as the rest of your leg. If it's turned too much, it'll throw you off balance. So you can take your foot up off the ground, take hold of the knee, or extend your leg. Push your hip all the way up. Right arm stays extended. Break the pose. Come back down. Good. From here, jump your feet to your hands. Bring your seat back, lift your heels. Jump forward or walk forward. Back a little bit. So push your arms into the inside of the thighs. Your shoulders and your knees are together roughly. Hands down in front of your feet and then lift. Squeeze your legs inside the legs against the arms and then lift your heels. As you come up, straighten your arms, your shoulders come over your fingertips. And then from here, bring more weight onto your arms. See if you can pull your toes away from the ground. Your arms will bend a little bit, but your head's still higher than the seat. This is a good way to start because then you don't go into nosedive. Some people start here and then they fall all the way forward onto their nose. Okay, so keep your seat low. Come from below and then up. Keep the knees and the backs of the arms together near the shoulders. Pull your toes away from the ground. This flexes your feet, engages the muscles. You can stay here or with your toes on the ground, just work, just trying to get up. Lift as high as you can up off your heels. Those who want can from here go onto your forehead, tuck your chin in, forehead on the ground, land softly. Come into teddy bear, and if you like, come all the way up into headstand. You can also split your legs, one leg in front, one leg in back. This makes it a little bit easier to balance. Feel free to use a wall if you need to. So when you're in headstand, stay there. Those who are more advanced
can come into lotus, if you have a lotus, or come onto your fingertips. Turn your fingers away, spread them equally, and see if you can take fingers off all one at a time until you're just on the index finger, the very, very tip of the finger. So stay there, bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows. Those who are not comfortable to do the headstand, you can just, a couple of options, bring your forehead in front of your knees and just lift your seat up as high as you can. The hips come over your knees. If it's too much pressure for the back of the neck, just move your head forward so you're more on the top of the head. Or elbows in front of your, underneath your shoulders, right in front of your knees. Don't move your elbows, move your hands out, interlace your fingers, place your forehead in front of your hands, and then when you lift your seat, your head rolls into the right place, right into your hands. Your hands are not underneath your head. Okay, so walk your feet close to your elbows, lift up the heels, and keep doing this. If you like, push into your forearms. Maybe bring one leg back behind you, and see if you can lift up. Try to get your seat over your shoulders. Keep your legs very bent so you can stay in control. When your legs are compact, it's easier to balance. Eventually, if you keep pushing through the back foot that's behind you, maybe you can pull your toes away from the ground, the foot in front of you. If you keep pushing through the foot behind you, eventually your feet will land at the height of the hips, both of them. Dangle there. Those who are more advanced, if you're, you can try to come onto just one arm. So keep one arm beside your head, push your head into the wrist, and bring one hand out in tripod in front of you, and come off all but just one finger again. The index finger, keep pushing through the feet. Easier to spread your legs, open up your legs, or split your legs. One leg in front, one leg in back. Keep leaning towards the arm in front, that's beside your head, the forearm. See if you can take your finger off the ground every once in a while. Push through the back foot. Okay, eventually you might be able to take hold of the foot. You have to reach for the foot. You have to fall back just a tiny bit. And keep pushing through the foot in front. Every time you're falling back, push through the foot in front and vice versa. Okay. Now from here, make your way down. If you want, you can land right back into crow if you like. Come into tuck. Land your shins on the backs of your upper arms. With control. Keep your feet flexed, bend your toes back, hold your breath, lift your head before your feet touch down. And then come back down. Otherwise, come back down any which way you like with control. And then come into child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out, relax everything. Now, slide your arms forward, glide right into your cobra. Adho Mukha Svanasana, lift your seat. Again, make your way to the front of the mat, jumping or walking. Come into a squat, shoulders over your hips, tuck your tail, fingers are loose, hands dangling down. Lift your heels if you can. As high as you can. Make like you're sitting in a chair. With the back against the back of the chair. Keep your back straight. Good. Lower down a little bit by little bit. Seat is right behind your heels now, over your heels. And then lower your heels, drop your seat down softly. Bring your legs, roll back, your legs up, your seat high enough so you can get your hands on your back and your feet go behind your head. Plow pose. So now, if you can, move your arms behind your back more. Join your hands together, shift from side to side. And then try to get your elbows close together. Bring your hands onto your back. If you can, bring one leg up at a time, coming into shoulder stand. If it's too much, stay in your plow pose. Push your hips up. Another modification, you can do bridge pose. Your heels, your feet in line with your hips, lift your seat up as high as you can. Your chest comes towards your chin. If you're sagging down, you're dropping. If you're kind of sinking into your chest, your knees will go over your toes. Try to push your hips up so the knees are behind your toes. Backs and knees in line with your heels. Okay? Otherwise, you come into your shoulder stand and then stay in your shoulder stand. Allow the legs to rest as Dharma descends. If you have a lotus, go ahead, do their lotus. Full lotus, not a half lotus. Use your hands if you need to. You're allowed to do that. Push into the back. Try to push your knees higher than your hips. Use your hands if you like to push into your thighs through your knees. Try to get right on top of your shoulders. Once you're in a pose, let the mind go quiet. Merge with the form. Come down. If you have a lotus, you can do Pindasana. Bring your lotus on your belly. Knees on the side of the head. You can join your hands underneath your seat if you know that variation. Otherwise, if you're not in a lotus, come back into plow. Your feet come down behind your head again, softly. And keep your legs extended. Walk your feet as far away from your head as possible to stretch your back. Or bring your knees down beside your head on either side. The legs on your side, the thighs on your side of the belly. Nothing to do, nowhere to go but deep within, beyond the body, the mind, and the emotions. Some variations. You can go ahead if you want. You can walk your feet over towards your left, drop your knee down right beside your left shoulder, push into your left shoulder, push into the left side of the head. Come right up into camel. Roll your way up, hands on the seat and then on your heels if you like. Push your chest up, the head goes back, then come back out immediately and come back down. So your shoulder, left shoulder comes down in front of your left knee, press on the left side of the head, keep your seat up, come back into plow, and go right to the other side. Walk your feet over towards the right. Even if you don't go into the full camel, you can try to get your knees down and to the right of the right shoulder, and then come up. If you don't know what I'm saying, then just stay in your plow pose. Come into camel if you like, and then come back right away. So coming into hare pose with your shoulder, right shoulder in front of your right knee, the right side of the head on the ground, and push into your left shoulder. Come back, your seat over your shoulders. Again, you're back in the same place where you started. Make your way down now into fish. Hands behind the back, palms down. Keep your legs close to your body as long as you can. And as you're rolling down, do it slowly. Land your seat on your wrists. Keep lowering your legs and stop halfway. Once you're there, push into your arms, lift your back up off the ground. Push your elbows in a little bit closer behind the heart, towards another, lift the chest. Bring the top of the head down. If it's too much, bring your legs all the way down to the ground and just do a regular fish. Now breathe very fast on the nose like a sniffing dog. Make the belly jump. Bring your feet close to your seat. Come into bridge pose. You can slide on the back of the head and roll up into a bridge pose from here if you're not already there. Or you can, from a fish, you can keep your head on the ground, top of the head on the ground. Just bring your feet in close to your seat. Come into Urdhva Dhanurasana, fingers behind your hand either side. Lift your seat. Move your head a little bit closer in towards your feet. Turn your hands around, fingers facing towards the heels now. And lift your head up off the ground if you can. So any variation or modification, go into it. Left stretch, lift your heels, rock back and forth if you like. Work your shoulders, try to get your feet closer to your hands. Good. Those who are professionals, as Dharmaji says, if you want to jump to the other side, you can. The trick there is to move your hands closer to your feet. And then from here, push into your hands, jump to the other side, push into your hands, go back. All right, so your body is in a state, if your feet are close to your hands, the body doesn't want to stay there for too long. It's kind of not exactly natural position, so you go to the other side, push into your hands, hold the breath, and hang back. All right, one more stretch. Then big pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Lift, straighten the arms and legs a little bit more if you can. And then come back down. From here, rest for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagine you fainted. Inhale the best into the body. Imagine it coming in like great beams of light into the skin. Exhale, infuse your whole body with it. Now from here, come back up to seated position. So make your way up, Paschimottanasana. If you need to, bend your knees, bring your arms up, hinge at the hips, come forward, belly on your thighs. You can wrap your arms around the legs, underneath your legs, and just keep your legs to your belly. You can eventually slide your heels forward. If you can get your legs flat on the ground without detaching your body from the thighs, then go ahead into it. Bring attention to the base of the spine, breathe up to the crown, exhale back down to the base of the spine. Keep your feet natural, neither too flexed, neither too pointed. Keep reaching forward. Break the pose. Good. So from here, hands behind the back, Purvottanasana or bench pose. If you're doing Purvottanasana, fingers in both cases are facing away from you. Slide heels in a little bit. You try and get your toes on the ground when your hips come up. So pull your shoulders in towards another. Push into the hands. Lift your chest right up, higher than the shoulders. Roll the thighs inwards and get your toes to the ground. Move your feet in if you need to. Really push your shoulders back and your hips up. If you're doing bench pose, your feet are underneath your knees and you can stay here. Don't try not to sag through the mid-body. Head level with the breath of the body. Breathe very fast to the nose. Remember, if you're doing Bhastrika breath in Purvottanasana, keep your chest high, your hips up. Lower the seat down. If you let your hips sag, especially in Purvottanasana, you won't last very long. So this is why I had to push your chest way up, your hips up. Okay, so now let's come into a squat again. We did this pose before. Perhaps if you did the bind, lift your seat, your left shoulder moves in a little bit to the inside, left knee a little bit, and then lift your seat just as much as you need to bring your left arm over your back, underneath your leg, over your back, and catch the right hand or lock your fingers together. So again, not around the seat, just on the other side of the left thigh, close to your hip. Lift the right leg all the way up, the head comes down. Sometimes it's good to repeat the poses. The more you do, the more they become comfortable. Now you can stay down here or move your left foot in and see if you can come up. Push into your right foot, come up with your left leg. Don't do it too slow. Keep your shoulder with your knee. If you find a balance, you can bring the left leg up, straight, lean to your right. If it's too much, you can take hold of the knee,
We can do ballet pose actually. Break the pose, come back down, into the other side right away. So lift your seat not too high, otherwise you might, and your arm comes just over your back here. Left arm catch the wrist or lock the fingers together. Wrist is preferable because then when you come up into bird of paradise, it's a little bit, your shoulder and your knee are together. So keep your left leg left hip high, your left leg straight, head close to the ground. If you can, move your hands closer to your elbow, and then get ready to come up if you can. So lift, push into your left foot, hold your breath, and start to push your way up. Pulling back the leg, come up. Try not to go too slow, otherwise you'll lose your balance. And then from here, if you're in the still pose, your knee and shoulder together, you can try to raise your right leg up. Straight, lean to your left a little bit. Good. Break the pose. Oh, actually, stay there. If you can't do the bird of paradise, do your ballet pose. And now come back down. So from here, easy chakrasana again. Turn your feet out, feet, toes beyond the edge of the mat, hands on the seat, bend your knees, and come like you're riding a horse. Your knees are forward, over your toes, maybe beyond your toes a little bit. Push your hands in your seat, allow the head to go back, and then keep pushing your seat. Roll the thighs out, roll the shins inwards. If you can, bring your hands down, just below the knees. Good. Roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards. Your thumbs come further in between your legs. If you want, you can go all the way down, step on your fingers with your heels, or you can come to Urdhva Dhanurasana again, if you know that variation. Make sure you can see the ground behind you. Good. Now to come back up, if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, push the hips forward a little bit, bring one hand on the back of the leg at a time, and then the other one. And then come back up. So from here, come down, roll your way down, lower your seat down into Adho Matsyendrasana. Your left leg extended, right leg over on the other side, somewhere between the knee and the ankle. The right hand behind the back at the center of the back, left arm pushes into the outside of the thigh. So you're not leaning back. Try keep, if you can, try to push your hand right against the center of the seat and then turn. Imagine trying to pull the knee beyond the left edge of the body. Keep your back straight, your left leg still active. Your chest all the way open. Look over your right shoulder. Try to get your chin in line with your shoulder. Break the pose, go to the other side. Right foot on the outside of left foot on the outside of the right leg, right arm up, then go to the outside of the left thigh with the right arm. Imagine you can see right through your skin at the spine rotating. Sometimes use these if these visualizations are helpful to go a little bit deeper into the pose. Break the pose, lie down on the back for Shavasana. Make your way down on your back. Gently. And then just allow the body to just sink into the ground. Soften all the muscles. Feel as though the flesh are hanging off the bones. Everything relaxes. Surrender completely to relaxation. Imagine the best of the best is coming in now. Like great beams of light and energy. And this is where more of the purification takes place. There are impurities at all levels. Physically, they may manifest in a feeling of a sensation of blockage, holding tension. So direct those beams of energy and light right into those areas to remove them, to feel softer, to feel freer. Unobstructed. The mental impurities, those thoughts that cause us to identify the body, the mind, and emotions, none of which are us, that tie us to that idea that we are just the body, the mind, and the emotions, when in fact we are beyond that. From the infinite comes the infinite. God is infinite, eternal, immutable, and stainless. That is our nature as well. So inhale the light into the mind to destroy all those impressions. And now for the spiritual impurities, all the behaviors that cause us to cause pain and suffering to ourselves or to others that are not in alignment with the ethical rules, yama and niyama. So try to always remember that everything that we do is an offering, and we're trying to offer the best of us so that we share it with all beings. It's always coming from a place of compassion. So inhale into the heart, love. Those love beams into the heart. Exhale. Imagine all those beams just destroying all those negative or harmful ways, behaviors, or tendencies. Have a strong desire to serve others with love and compassion only. So be careful of your actions, thoughts, and words that you put out there. And we try to continue this, to exercise this in our day-to-day lives, put this into practice in all your interactions. So now make your way back to seated position in a way that is gentle, that is mindful, that is reverent and quiet. We'll close with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within, send out to all beings everywhere. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All's within. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste. And feel free to do more Shavasana in order to allow more opportunity for the benefits to integrate. Hope to see you soon. Much love. See you soon. Bye, everyone.